Hello, Swami Radhikananda. Welcome to Austin. And we are really blessed that you're visiting us and giving us your time. So, I would first like to welcome you to my home. And I want to sing a song that is composed by you. It is one of my favorite songs.
That's very sweet of you. I'd love to hear it. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll start. It's on Kundalini, and it's from Zohar Jnanadevala, one of the programs that you presented in Pune long back when I was almost sixth or seventh grade. In sixth or seventh grade. So let's start. I'll just start with that song.
Please go ahead.
केशराने न्हाऊनी कुमकुमानी सजूनी कुंडलिनी रूपानी आली भवानी कुंडलिनी रूपानी आली भवानी केशराने न्हाऊनी कुमकुमानी सजूनी कुंडलिनी रूपानी आली भवानी कुंडलिनी रूपानी आली भवानी साडेतीन वळण मुख खाली धरून साडेतीन वळण मुख खाली धरून शिवाची ही नागिण दिसे भवानी कुंडलिनी रूपानी आली भवानी कुंडलिनी रूपानी आली भवानी जय जय जगदंबे माँ जय जय जगदंबे माँ जय जय जगदंबे माँ जय जय जगदंबे माँ जगदंबे माँ जगदंबे माँ.
Very good, very good. I would love to say it. You have a melodious voice, a beautiful voice, Tejaswini. You are gifted with a voice. You must make use of it for the world. Okay?
Thank you so
Good.
much.
Yes.
So today I have a few questions about meditation. So I'm at a very beginner level in meditation. So I would like to ask you a few questions for people who want to start meditation, and the what is the use of meditation, how we can implement it in our daily life, and how can we inculcate a discipline of meditation in everyday life. Everyone has a hectic life these days, and meditation is something which is really necessary. So I want to ask you a few questions. First of all, I would like to ask you the purpose of your visit this time, and what new things you have come up with, and want to share with everyone.
Right, right. Okay, that was a very good question. Actually, the song that you sang, Kundalini Yoga, it's actually a powerful program on meditation itself. This is also in the form of a song, but the actual the program is regarding meditation. But it is slightly in an advanced stage. So, as you said, since you are asking for a tip for the beginners, then we will start with the very motive of why I have been here. Meditation is now picking up all over the world. Almost every school of thought, including Reiki, pranic healing, modern sciences, modern technology, yoga, all these are definitely giving more attention to the concept of meditation. So meditation needs to be explained in as simple a form as possible. So here I'm trying to come up with certain program where I have talked about mudras and bhava mudras for meditation. Now, first we will start with the concept of mudra.
Okay.
Are you familiar with the word mudra, Tejaswini?
So, in layman's terms, a mudra that I understand as a word is a form of your hand or a form of expression which you can do using your hands. So, that is what I understand as a layman. But if you can tell us more in details.
Yes, definitely. Actually, mudras, they are postures of the fingers. You can have these various postures are there. You hold on these, you can hold this, you can do this, you can do this. These are various. Now you may wonder why these postures are required. A simple posture is enough for a meditation. Yes, this is for Dhyan Mudra. This is considered as Dhyan Mudra, and it definitely drives your prana vayu or your breath to the ultimate, that is Sahasrara. This is the seat of consciousness. You need to direct your breath towards the Sahasrara, and it's very important to have a mudra. If you take a posture, your pranavayu, it gets directed to the various parts of your body. This is actually, it works like a wheel you have, a steering wheel in a car. Like that, these mudras function. Now, this is going to direct your pranavayu to various centers. I have recently brought out a very beautiful meditation cassette. We will be displaying it on YouTube. But just to give you an idea that these particular mudras will take your pranavayu to the various regions. Now, yes?
I think that is really interesting. It's a really interesting thought, and it's a really interesting concept that a mudra drives like a steering wheel and takes your breath all around in your body. At different mudras will have different functions. So that's what I grasped, or that's what I comprehended from what you said right now. So moving forward, I would like to ask you, what is the starting point in this process of meditation? How should a person start even before going to in details?
One thing we all must do in life is love to meditate. You must consider it as one of the best treats given to you by the Lord. It's a supreme secret. It's a beautiful way of connecting with the unseen world, because you are with your eyes closed and you are away from the material world. So this is probably the only way you can interact with the unseen world. So you have to first learn to love it. And I think the more you love it, the more you will discover the in-depth of the secrets and the treasures of meditation. So first we are going to try and encourage all of you to sit down with your eyes closed, and we'll start with a simple mudra. The first one is Dhyana Mudra. So learn to sit. Don't worry about anything else. Just close your eyes and sit, and let the inner world reveal itself to you. You just learn to observe. See if you can do it.
So in this, I have a question again. When a person like me, who is running around with all chores, my office work, and my kids, having 2 boys, so I have a lot of thoughts that come into mind. When I get me time, like you said, you have to sit in one place and meditate, or be yourself at that point of time. At that point of time, there are so many thoughts that come into my mind. And if this is done, if my laundry is done, if I'm done with my work, stuff like that. So how do you control those thoughts that are continuously flowing inside?
Now, Tejaswini, first thing is, what you could do is give yourself, say, half an hour. And just before that half an hour, try and finish all your daily chores.
Okay.
So you know that certain part of your daily activity is done. And you're going to relax. Those 20 minutes are just yours.
Okay.
So whether it is with the children, of course, let them be around, give them full attention. But those 20 minutes are going to be totally yours.
Okay.
So in those 20 minutes, you're going to just close your eyes, and it doesn't matter. Observe, let the thoughts come and go. Just don't interact with them.
Okay.
Observe them.
Okay.
And see. Now, instead of thinking of the thoughts, if you can concentrate on, say, let's say the colors,
Okay.
the shades in when you close your eyes, you might see a black shade, you might see a blue shade, you might see a green shade, and try and see whether you would like to see those shades, because that's slowly going to take you to a something sober and soft movement in your body, unmade by you, but made by the inner world. So let's see. Try and start there.
Wow, that's a really good answer, and I think I'm convinced with it, and I'm definitely going to try this as a part of my daily routine. So now, is there a certain time that we should that is prescribed for meditation, or it's the time when everyone is sleeping, or say maybe for me 11 p.m. is the best time. So, is there any time that is prescribed?
Okay. I would normally suggest in early morning. So because you are no more tired, you have had your sleep and you are fresh out of your sleep. So your mind is pretty and cool and yet not changed into an active day. It has just come out of a deep sleep and it has not yet entered an active period. So this transition period is something very simple. We call it Brahma Muhurta. So instead of, because at night you may have a tired day and you may fall asleep. Now, we don't want to fall asleep when we are meditating, but you need to be actively involved, yet without much activity. So, a morning time when you are just out of your sleep and you want to surface, let me put that word, you have to surface now. And before the world actually starts for you, the day starts for you, you have to, it should be like a morning dawn. The sun is yet not bright, and you know it's going to break.
Wow, I think that also answers, and also that would be the great time. That would be a great time where I wouldn't have any thoughts. My mind hasn't started working. So I think that truly makes sense and also answers the previous question partly. So the next question I had is, should we chant any mantras while we meditate, or what are the things that we should do during meditation?
Now, some of the practitioners suggest that we don't chant anything. But a chanting, I will give you the difference between the normal words we speak and the chanting of mantras. For example, if I speak a normal language, like I say, I'd like to have a cup of tea, so it will manifest in front of me, an unseen cup will be kept there on the table for me. But suppose I say Om Namah Shivaya, then nothing is going to manifest as far as the material world is concerned. But since it is a word used, it is bound to do its duty, and it is going to bring in something which is unseen. And I think it's going to be the Chaitanya, the ultimate consciousness, the supreme truth. It's going to come in some form. You have got to learn to trace it, but let's first help it to manifest. So mantras can be, and it is a thought which doesn't give birth to another thought. It is a thought which is complete by itself, and it does not create a further thought. If you ask for a key, they'll say, for which door you want? Why do you need? But if you say Om Namah Shivaya, there's no question which comes after that.
Wow.
So that's a very beautiful thought. You give yourself a thought, and mantra is one of the most beautiful thoughts which can help you to go into silence.
Wow. That's a new thing that I learned today, and a really beautiful explanation of the mantras. There are a few things that we face in everyday life. One of them that everyone faces these days is anxiety, because the world is full of competition and you cannot cope up with certain things, and then you get anxious. You also have, for example, if I have an interview and I'm really anxious that how will it go, if my preparation is enough for that particular interview, and after the interview is given, if the result will be positive or negative. So these kind of questions are faced by everyone. So I just gave an example. So how do you cope up with that? And to complete it, how would meditation help in that?
Okay. Now, we've got to remember a very important thing. 3 factors get involved with any action. For example, if I need a job, you have a job to offer, but we two need to meet. So I'm involved, you are involved, and third unseen factor is involved. So one has to remember that So if you are going for an interview, somebody else is going to take the interview, but there is going to be a third unseen element, which we either call spirit or God or faith or a compassionate energy or supreme truth. That's going to function. So before we start any activity, try and tap that energy by your ultimate faith. Just ask the energy to be by you. In Indian philosophy, we answer the question, who is this energy? And in the Western philosophy, they say, what is this energy? So we give a mortal form to it. We call her a goddess or a Shakti or an Adi Shakti. And in the Western world, it is like consciousness or energy or light. All said and done, we have to remember that there is a third factor which works with one and two factors. So the moment you know that, half of your job of stress is released because there's somebody else going to take care of that. And second thing is, the moment it is an important, the motive is beautiful. You need a job for your own happiness. You're not disturbing anybody else's happiness. As long as the motive is pure, any job will be fulfilled.
Wow, that's a really nice explanation. And the other part of my question, how will meditation help? Or how can we better, what is the best way to tap that energy that you mentioned right now?
Now, you do the act of tapping the energy in a meditative state. And you allow it to work in your material world. So when you are meditating, you cannot answer the interview. You have to meditate before you answer the interview. In interview, it will show you that if you have meditated correctly, the contact with the world will be supreme.
So that means it will bring the best in yourself. That's what I understood as a layman.
Yes. So it taps, it brings out the best, because now you're not all by yourself. You are with an extra energy, which is divine, which is going to bring the best out of you. So the moment you tap that energy, it's going to see that your interview is a fully successful program.
I'm definitely going to try this. Okay, so moving forward, what are the other topics that you have come up this time in your visit? I heard that you have an interesting Bhava Mudra topic that you had briefed me about before our conversation. So I would like to know more about that.
Right. Now, this is a very new topic that I have actually presented. It's an old subject, but presented in new light. It's given it new terminology. So actually, when we are trying, as I showed you, the mudras, if you use the mudras, you are directing the pranavayu, the breath in you, towards a particular point or region in your body. But there is a universal energy which is encompassing you. Now you need to direct it into your life. Now, in order to do that, is there any particular mudra? That was one of the questions which was posed to me. So I came up with an idea that suppose a man develops any one of the virtues in him, and it should be a beautiful virtue. You can be kind, you can be gentle, you can be humble, you can be compassionate, you can be generous, you can be this person of student of philosophy. Pick up any one virtue which you are comfortable with. And try to develop that in you and intensify it and improvise it to the highest level you can take it. Practice it daily. Slowly the entire body of yours, the posture in you, will take up some sort of a beautiful picture. It will give you a beautiful form. For example, suppose you develop humility. So you're going to bring up yourself, you'll have a very gentle look in the eyes, your smile will be always there, your shoulders will be slightly bent, your head will have a turning tilt, or something beautiful. And when person sees you, they'll say, here seems to be a very humble person. Now this virtue is important because that is the only way the enlightening knowledge will find its way to you. So instead of the breath being directed to chakras, now we are trying to bring the universal enlightening knowledge to you through some virtue which will function, make your body work as a mudra.
That's a really interesting thought, and we all have different qualities in us, and it's just that we should find it and direct that energy to us. So that's a really nice thought, and I think we have covered. I mean, I have covered all my question as a beginner, and I'm definitely going to try and take some time out of my busy schedule for meditation. And thank you so much for answering my questions and taking time out.
Now, I would like to tell you something which is beautiful in you. You have got a virtue, you've got a golden voice, young girl. Now, if you're going to use that voice dedicatedly to serve mankind by giving them, let's say, joy, let's say happiness, let's say peace, let's say whatever you can give out of music to the people, then trust me, the enlightening knowledge regarding all the music, like Samaved, it will travel to you. Wouldn't you like to be enlightened by that?
Definitely.
So, yes.
That's
So,
something
yes, that,
very beautiful and huge that you said.
yes,
Thank
yes.
you so much.
So,
I'm going to do that.
yes,
I'm
you
going to
use
try.
your music because that's a virtue in you. It's a God's gift, and it will be easy for you to practice.
Yes.
Okay?
Thank you so much, Tai. Thank you. Swami Radhikananda.
Thank you.
Thank you.